Good morning, dear children. Welcome back. In today's session, we are going to discuss Class 5, Term 3, Unit 3 in Social Science, Educational Rights. This is Part 3 of the videos. Come children, let us learn. Before going into today's session, let us have a recap of what we discussed in the last sessions. Dears, in the last session, we discussed about education and its importance. Education is important for people as well as the nation. Education is the first step for a child's development. It improves knowledge, skills, values, and quality of one's life. The importance of education does not mean the person should be literate. It is more than that. Education helps to analyze the reason, build skills to live, know what is right and wrong, and to lead a moral life. Education also helps in broadening one's mind. It removes superstitious beliefs and awareness of surroundings, social and political issues. We also learned about educational rights. Every child has right to have free and compulsory education. The Right to Education Act or RTE specifies different responsibilities to the local authorities and the government to ensure free and compulsory education. The Right to Education Act describes the importance of free and compulsory education for children between 6 to 14 years of age. Education should be affordable to common people, and there should not be any discrimination in education. The child should act at the center of an education system. We also learned about the features of RTE. The important features are: until the completion of elementary education, no student is stopped from school. 25% reservation is given to economically underprivileged people in all private schools, and it helps in the improvement in the quality of education. The school infrastructure should be improved every 3 years. Finances will be shared between the state and the central government. We also learned about the National Education Policy or NEP, which was framed in 2019. And it is to promote education among the people of India. It covers all educational systems from primary to college level. The first educational policy was implemented in 1968 and the second in 1986. Dear children, in this session we will discuss about the educational schemes. Dear children, the most important milestone, M-I-L-E, S-T-O-N-E, milestone is the achievement. The most important milestone in education is the free midday meal program. So what is the meaning of free midday meal? The children, those who are coming to school, are provided lunch. And it is free of cost. In government school, they are provided with nutritious food. They are provided with lunch, which was implemented by the former CM or the Chief Minister of Tamilnadu, K. Kamaraj. Who implemented the free midday meal program? It was the CM or Chief Minister of Tamilnadu, K. Kamaraj. Indian educational system is mainly divided into 4 stages. Dear children, the educational system is divided into 4 stages. How many stages are there? There are 4 stages for the educational system. They are lower primary, upper primary, secondary and higher secondary. You have lower primary, upper primary, secondary and higher secondary. That is children, the lower primary age is 6 to 10. Upper primary 11 and 12, high school 13 to 15 and higher secondary 17 and 18. That is the LP or the lower primary is divided into 5 standards, 1 to 5, upper primary into 2, high school into 3 and higher secondary into 2. Now children, let us learn about the various educational schemes. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or SSA, Sarva, S-A-R-V-A, Sarva Shiksha, S-H-I-K-S-H-A, Shiksha Abhiyan, A-B-H-I-Y-A-N, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or SSA is a Right to Education Act. RTE have improved the educational performance. So, both the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Right to Education Act has improved the educational performance. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or Education for All was launched in the year 2001. The Education for All or the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was launched in the year 2001. Now children, let us learn what are the objectives of the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. The objectives of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan are increasing the enrollment in primary schools. Enrollment is number of entries, number of children who are attending the primary school. The first objective is to increase the number of children who attend the primary school. Second one is getting access to free and compulsory education for children up to age of 14. So those children who are till the age of 14 or 14 and under it, they should get education, and that education should be free as well as it should be compulsory. It is very compulsory for the children who are aged 6 to 14 to attend the school. The next objective is to improve the quality of education. So the objectives of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan are increasing the enrollment in primary school, getting access to the free and compulsory education for children up to age 14, and improving the quality of education. Dear children, the Samagra Shiksha, S-A-M-A-G-R-A, Samagra Shiksha, S-H-I-K-S-H-A, Samagra Shiksha subsumes the three erstwhile schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan and Teacher Education. Learn the word erstwhile, E-R-S-T-W-H-I-L-E. Erstwhile means former. Former is before. So you have the three schemes, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan and Teacher Education were all the before schemes of Samagra Shiksha. Dear children, now let us learn about Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Rashtriya, R-A-S-H-T-R-I-Y-A, Rashtriya Madhyamik, M-A-D-H-Y-A-M-I-K, Madhyamik Shiksha, S-H-I-K-S-Y-A, Shiksha Abhiyan, A-B-H-I-Y-A-N, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, RMSA, was launched in the year 2009. So, RMSA was launched in 2009. The aim of this program is raising the minimum level education to class 10. So, the Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan aims to increase or raise the minimum level of education to class 10. The children should be educated minimum up to class 10. That was the aim of Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan. Later in 2018, the Government of India wanted to provide a single scheme for school education starting from preschool to class 12. So later in 2018, government wanted to have a single scheme of education for all the people, all the children from preschool to class 12. They should be learning a single scheme. And this is known as Samagra Shiksha. So such a scheme which allows the government to form a single scheme for school education starting from the preschool to class 12. That is called as Samagra Shiksha or the complete education. Samagra is all. S-A-M-A-G-R-A, Samagra, S-H-I-K-S-H-A, Samagra Shiksha or S. Now dears, let us learn the objectives of Samagra Shiksha. What is the main aim of Samagra Shiksha? That is providing education and improving learning outcomes of the students. It has to provide quality education. The earlier scheme aimed at providing education of minimum level of education should be 10 standard. Now Samagra Shiksha means the quality education should be more and as well as the learning outcomes, what the children will learn from that should be improved. Supporting all state governments in implementing the RTE. Not only that, it will support all the state governments to implement the Right to Education Act, that is to provide 25% of the seats from private school and improving the standards and facilities and changing the infrastructure. The central government will help the state government or support the state government. The next important thing was focusing on girl education. Children, if you educate a boy, he only will learn. But if you educate a girl, a family will learn. So, the main focus of Samagra Shiksha was to focus on the girl child's education, as well as focusing on the digital education to move to a computerized education, provide free access to computers for the children. That was also the aim of Samagra Shiksha. In the past 2 decades, India has achieved a maximum enrollment of students in schools. So, in 20 years, past 20 years, India has seen maximum enrollment. Many children are coming to schools and they are getting educated. All because of the schemes that are provided by the central government as well as the state government. Dear children, do you remember every July 15th we celebrate Kamarajar's birthday? Yes. Perum Talaivar K. Kamaraj's birthday anniversary, that is 15th of July, is celebrated as Educational Development Day in recognition of his contribution to the development of education. So, the contribution, to remember the contribution of K. Kamaraj towards education, Educational Development Day is celebrated in Tamilnadu to celebrate his birth anniversary. That is on 15th of July. We have a grand celebration of Kamarajar's birthday on that day, isn't it? Every year we celebrate it. Now let us go through the glossary. First one is ensure, E-N-S-U-R-E. Ensure is assure, to make sure. Ensure is assure. Erstwhile, E-R-S-T, erst, W-H-I-L-E, while, erstwhile is former. Superstitions, S-U-P-E-R-S-T-I-T-I-O-N-S, superstitions is irrational religious belief. Without having any logical reasoning, we believe in something. That is called as irrational religious belief. Now let us have a recap. Education is very important for every individual. Every child has a right to have free and compulsory education. Education should be affordable to common people. Right to Education Act in 2019 describes the importance of free and compulsory education for children between 6 to 14 years of age. The Samagra Shiksha scheme improves the quality of education and the learning of students. Before winding up, let us have a recap of what we discussed in the unit. In this session, we discussed about the different educational schemes. We learned that Indian education system is divided into 4 stages: lower primary, upper primary, secondary and higher secondary. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Right to Education Act have improved the educational performance. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was launched in the year 2001 to increase the enrollment in primary school, getting access to free and compulsory education for children up to age 14 and to improve the quality of education. The Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan or RMSA was launched in 2009. Aiming at raising the minimum level of education to class 12, providing quality education and improving the learning outcomes of students, supporting all state governments in implementing RTE, focusing on girl education as well as on digital education. We celebrate Educational Development Day on the birth anniversary of Perundalaivar K. Kamaraj, which is on 15th of July. For his contributions to the development of education. Dear children, in the next session we will discuss the evaluation. Now it is time for worksheet number 2. Roman number 1, fill in the blanks. The Government of India has framed the dash to promote education. The Government of India has framed the dash to promote education. Roman number 2. Question number 1. What is the role of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan? What is the role of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan? Question number 2. Give a short note on National Education Policy. Give a short note on National Education Policy. Question number 3. Write any two features of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Write any two features of Samagra Shiksha. That's all for today's session, my dear children. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Samacheer Kalvi Guide. Thank you. Stay blessed.